And welcome to Sound Solution Live. This is a brand new program based on one of my most popular products called Sound Solution. And it's a 7-part audio series, all dedicated to bringing your body, your mind, your spirit back into balance using something called vagus nerve stimulation. And we're going to be specifically using sound-based vagus nerve stimulation. And we'll talk all about that during this session. But understand that when we do exercises, just like if you went to the gym, only do what you can, right? If there's something that's uncomfortable or you need to do less of, it's always okay. Everyone has different tolerances, so the rule of thumb is just always listen to your body. If it feels good, that's a good signal to keep going. If you feel like you've had enough of something, always okay to take a break, even if we're continuing. Okay, so just want to make sure that you know this is really a self-tailored experience, and you do what you can. The other thing I'll say is that you'll get a lot of value, even if you're here live with me, by going back and rewatching this entire program. There's so much that we pack into a short period of time. So just want you to know that you're going to have this. You have lifetime access to it. I send you a YouTube link so that you've got that. If you're here live, I would love if you wouldn't mind putting in the chat just where you're from. I think it's fun to see where people are from. I see some people are already starting to do that. I'm going to put mine in here too. I just put it in the wrong spot. Let me try that again. There we go. So I'm in not sunny Pittsburgh. We had a little coating of snow this morning. We've got California. We've got sunny Rochester, New York. That's not a thing that we all often hear, right, Jeff? We've got all kinds of folks. North Carolina, Florida. We've got some people on the eastern part of PA. Fantastic. We're going to have some fun here too. As you're starting to settle in, there are a couple things I'll invite you to do. You're fully grown adults, you can do whatever you want, but the invitation is if you have any distractions, if you have a phone, if you have any other windows open on your computer, the invitation is just to turn them all off and give yourself this time that you've paid money for, and you've decided to just take your valuable time to be here. Okay, give yourself that time to do that. And once you've done that, I'd like you just to take a quick scan of what's true about how you feel right now. How have you shown up here today? Notice your mind. I'd like you to notice how you feel in the body. Also notice your mood. You can just take a second to do that. And as you're feeling into that, we've got some more folks that came in from Michigan. We got Utah, Washington. Fantastic. If you are drawn to it, if you can sum up, what's true right now for you and how you feel into one word. If you want to put that in the chat, you're welcome to do that. I'm going to do that. Let's see. And I'm probably going to break the rules. So feel free to break rules when I tell you one word. If you want 2 or 5 or 100, you can do that. I have woken up pretty happy this morning. So that's what I'm going with. My band had a show last night. We played at a place in Pittsburgh called Rivers Casino. And it's one of those knockdown, drag out kind of nights. It was really fun. So woke up in a good mood. We've got some excited. We've got grateful, organized. We have connected. Excellent. Lots of good stuff coming in here. So to begin, Sound Solution, we're not, this is not some miracle cure. We're not going to cure cancer today. I wish, right? I wish we could do that. But we can improve quality of life. We can improve how we feel in the moment. You'll be able to decide for yourself how that goes as we go through some of the exercises today. What I want to start with, just for folks who are new to this, is this idea that sound essentially is vibration. So I got my guitar here. If I pluck my E string, if I pluck it here, you might even be able to see if I get close enough. Here's the string. You can see the string kind of moving. So sound essentially is vibration, right? It's vibration. It's and vibration, it's energy that's moving. So I can think about, I'd like to make a G chord right now. And then somehow I get that thought into physical form. And suddenly I've got all kinds of sound. But, it's sort of out of tune sound. But the sound happens because I initially have a thought and I take some action upon the thought. And then somehow it almost sometimes seems like a miracle that we can get thoughts and then turn them into something. So we're going to do a lot of that here. We're going to use sound and the vibration of the sound to help us do all kinds of really helpful things for your well-being. Now, when we dig into this, which is happening right now, I'd like to just start with some very slow, deliberate breathing. When we do this kind of breathing, now we all have different lung capacities, so just do what you can. The invitation is we're going to breathe down into the lowest parts of the abdomen so that the belly puffs out, kind of like Santa Claus. And then when we exhale, we're going to be pushing all of the air out completely. When we exhale, though, we're going to do it in a special way. We're going to exhale like we are blowing through a straw. We're going to purse our lips and really control how slowly the breath comes out. We're going to activate what's called your parasympathetic nervous system. So if you will, just make yourself comfortable. And we're going to take deep breath. I'll back up a little bit so you can see it. Deep breath down into the belly. And if you're not sure, just hold your belly and it should come out. And then fill up the tops of the lungs. And then slowly exhale like you're blowing through a straw. It should take a little while. And then blow all the air out of your belly. You force it out. And then breathe in again through the nose. Exhale through the straw. You got it. Just like that. Again, nice big breath into the belly. And then exhale through the straw. Most excellent. 2 more. In. Exhale through that straw. One more time. Big breath in. Exhale through the straw. Most excellent. Very good. That is something through the day, like anytime you can remember, start to breathe that way. Just remember that you exhale through the straw. Get really big, deep breaths in. Reason being that when we do this, we activate the part of the nervous system that is in charge of rest and digest. And when we're in that space, this is when the body has the best chance of using its resources to actually help you to feel better. One of the things that a lot of people don't realize, we always talk about being stressed out and how uncomfortable that is. But one thing some people don't realize is that when we have stress and then we haven't done anything to release it, the stress and the stress chemicals don't go anywhere, right? They build up in the body, and then at night when we go to bed, if we're taking the stress to bed with us, essentially, the body has a much more challenging time doing all of the healing work, all of the rebuilding work that it would normally do if it had had all of its resources, all of its energy to devote to healing. So essentially, when we take stress, especially to bed, we are putting ourselves at a pretty big disadvantage health-wise, especially if we already aren't feeling so good. So this is why we do practices like we're doing today. Breathing is one of the practices. And when we are when we're really relaxed, especially at bedtime, when we don't take stress with us, if we've moved the body a little bit through the day and moved some of the cortisol out of the body, that stress chemical, that actually sets us up each evening for the body to do its most effective healing work. So this is a key to this whole system of sound solution, is understanding the relationship between stress, healing, and how we can turn the body towards that. Now, remember, sound is vibration. Vibration is energy moving. When we use the sound of our voice, which we'll do in a little bit, we actually create vibration that helps to stimulate a nerve called the vagus nerve. And I'd like to just share a screen with you here so you can see this in real time. Let me just do that. There you are. Sound solution is all about using this for some people an unknown or a little known nerve in the body that affects us every moment of every day. It's called the vagus nerve. It's recently become more known because people are realizing how important it is. I don't know why it's taken this long. But the vagus nerve, it's the longest nerve in your body. It connects at the back of your brain, and it goes right down over your vocal cords. Here, I'll show you that. Now, there's not going to be a quiz at the end, so don't worry about memorizing all of these anatomy terms. But I want you to see that just right here in your neck, in your throat, all of the yellow, that's the vagus nerve. It's not just one straight line through the body. It twists and turns all through every organ in the body, from the eyes, right? It actually innervates right behind your eyes, the middle ear, of course, the throat, as we can see on the picture here. Then it goes down and innervates the heart and the lungs and every organ, the whole way down to your reproductive region. Now, you might be wondering, what in the world does it do? The answer is, it's a really big answer, and we're just going to cover a bit of it here because we could spend days talking about it. It's that important. But you can think of this nerve kind of like a thermostat. In the wintertime, the furnace hopefully keeps your house warm, and it keeps it at a steady temperature. Vagus nerve is kind of like that. It helps to keep your nervous system in balance, so that when you have stress, that you can bring yourself back to your center, or in science speak is homeostasis. And if we need to react to something, like, let's say we're driving and a deer jumps out, that the vagus nerve kicks in and carries chemicals like adrenaline to your system to put you on alert, to ramp you up so that you can manage whatever the situation is. And then hopefully it brings you back again to your center, so you're not constantly anxious. Now, this nerve, it regulates a lot of important functions. You can see a few of them here: blood sugar, blood pressure, inflammation, oxygen levels in the blood. We just talked about the calm, or the stress-inducing and the calm-inducing chemicals. These include some pretty interesting things. When we do vagus nerve stimulation, we will literally activate these. One of them is called acetylcholine. That's a natural tranquilizer. It's an inflammation suppressant. Our good friend dopamine, which helps us to really feel good and pleasure. The pain-killing endorphins. This really interesting substance called nitric oxide, which is when you hum or when you breathe noisily, like if you sigh, nitric oxide is actually produced in your paranasal sinuses. It's like the body's own antiviral and natural inflammatory control mechanism. We also stimulate this cool substance called oxytocin. This is a social bonding hormone. It helps us to feel safe, to feel protected. It helps us to feel affection with people, overall well-being. So when we stimulate this nerve with sound, there's the symptoms that you can help in your day-to-day life is the decreasing pain. And pain is a really interesting thing. If you've ever had chronic pain, I'm sorry, it really is awful. But one of the things a lot of people don't realize is that the more stressed we are, the more the perception of pain increases. So this is kind of a double whammy to help pain. It also helps to improve and strengthen nervous system function. Vagus nerve stimulation helps, actually, there's plenty of research on this now, helps symptoms of depression, lowers blood pressure, we talked about managing stress. It helps us to promote deeper sleep. And for those of us who deal with anxiety, I'm one of you. This is why I know something about this stuff. It can really help with that too. So let's dig into this and let's see how we're going. All right. First thing is I'd like to get your hands. Just gonna warm them up a little bit. I'm in my basement studio, and so down here in the basement, it's a little chilly today. I've got my Mr. Rogers sweatshirt or sweater on. You guys remember Mr. Rogers? Some of us here in the States remember that cool guy. He's actually not. He's from a place that's maybe about 20 minutes from my house. It's pretty fun. The simplest sound-based vagus nerve exercise, I call it brain humming. I call it that because if you touch the top of your head while you do the humming, you can actually feel the vibration up there. I'm going to show you over our program today how to move sound all through the head, the face, and the torso. So let's try this. If you're willing, you can hold a hand up here. If your arm gets tired, it's okay to take it down. I want you to make your spine straight. You can close your eyes if you like. And we're just going to breathe in and exhale a humming sound. What you don't need to worry about is how loud or if you're in tune with me, right? Don't worry about that. We're just focusing on the vibration. So here we go. We're going to breathe into the belly and then exhale a humming sound. Excellent. If you need to rest your arm, you can do that. You can even hold the head with the other side. So this time, focus on the feeling that you feel in the head. You might feel some vibration in your hand. Here we go. Breathing in. Excellent. Maybe switch sides to keep the arm from fatiguing. Focus on the feeling of the vibration. When you do this, try to keep your back molars together and your lips closed. It shouldn't be forced. So let's try it. Here we go. Breath in. Good. You can rest your arm, and let's just do a few more without the hand up there. Take a big breath in. All right, just pause there for a moment. We're going to do a few more, but I want you just to notice how you feel after 3 or 4 of these. See if you feel any sensations up in the head or the face. Sometimes people do. Sometimes people feel a little buzzy or a little tingly. It's normal. Thank you, Feel Good Chemicals. In this next round, what I'd like you to do is we're going to add something to help the sound go up into the head. So when we keep the jaw together, right, when we close the jaw, keep the lips together, sound, it has to move somewhere. So it comes out of your nose and it vibrates the top parts of your face and skull. One thing you can do to really fine tune that is if you get your tongue and if you put it at the very back of your top teeth, touching the upper part of the palate. So it's right about there. You can put the tongue at the back of the teeth, but on the roof of your mouth, right behind the teeth. Okay. And what you'll notice is if you move the tongue on and off, you'll feel the vibration kind of go up a little bit and then down. See if you can notice that. Ready? So breathe in. Put the tongue right behind the teeth on the roof of the mouth. Breath in. Yeah, just notice if you take the tongue off and then put it back on, how much more concentrated the sound gets in the upper part of the head. See if you can notice that. And don't worry if you can't get it the first time. Sometimes it takes a few tries. Here we go. Breath in, spine straight. Couple more. Good. How about one more? Very nice. Just relax for a moment. Just notice how your head feels. Just a little bit of stimulating the vagus nerve. We're always, by the way, when we do exercises, we check at the beginning to notice, all right, what's true? And then throughout, we keep checking. We're always like focusing back in, how is this, if at all, changing how I feel? And hopefully it's going the right direction. Remember, if you ever feel like it's too much of something, just take a break. So if you feel like it, if you're here live and you notice any sensations, feel free to put them in the chat. I got my buddy Jeff says he always giggles when he starts the humming. It is kind of weird hippie stuff, right? It's kind of funny. When I do this with my college students, I tell them, listen, feel free to laugh. This is odd to most human beings. But then after you're done with that, come back and see what this has for you. So we've got some people chiming in. Someone saying, getting a little bit sleepy. There's your parasympathetic nervous system, like literally kicking on. That's exactly what happens. Very nice. Relaxed. Very good. Very good. Good stuff coming in here. So one of the other things we can do with sound is we can do a series of vowel sounds, and what you'll find is that these series will start to resonate in different parts of the body. What I'm going to do is I'm going to find a little bit of rhythm here to accompany us, because that'll make things more fun. And before we do this, I'll put in the chat, what the sounds are so that you can remember them. And so there's 3. Whoop. There's ah, o. Actually, there's 4. Sorry. So 3 vowels and a consonant. We've got ah, we've got o, then oo, and then our friend Briefly, so ah, you'll feel here typically for most people. So ah. O tends to work from the throat a little down into the chest, right? So kind of some overlap there. So ah, and then o. Ooh will start to create more resonance in the solar plexus and down into the belly. And then up here in the head. Ah, o, ooh, and then What I'll do is we're going to do all of these sounds in one breath. Let's see. There you are. And so we're going to go like this. It's going to go ah, oh, ma. And at the end, you can let out the ma and all the breath. And then we do it again. We go ah, oh, ma. Got it? Ah, oh, ma. Here we go. Ah, oh, very nice. Ah, oh, ah, oh, just let your body relax. Let your shoulders drop. Ah, oh, ah, We're going to do a bunch of these, so just make yourself comfortable. And really let your mouth make the shape for each sound. Let yourself use that voice. It's your birthright. Yeah? Good. Keep on breathing. The trick is to do these long enough to really feel the effect. Just a couple more. And last one. Very nice. One more time. Very nice. Big breath in and just let it go. Just a little bit of repetition can really change the game in how we feel. I'm really curious, as you've done this, if you're here live, to pop into the chat, what are some things that you're noticing just after having done this, if you're participating along. When we are making the sounds, remember the locations, so kind of like the upper throat and down into the chest, and then O kind of covers the throat down into the lower chest, heart. Oo, solar plexus in a bit of the belly, and then resonates the head again. So we've got some people chiming in. Oh, good. Some are saying better, much better. Isn't that amazing? We can do that. Like we have that ability. More alive. Uh, joyful tear. Yeah, man. I love that. I love it. I love it. This is why I love this stuff so much. We don't realize, maybe you do, but generally in the world, people don't realize that within you already, you have tools that are kind of, it's part of the package. Like you get built with tools within you to help you to regulate yourself, right? Self-regulation of the nervous system is a thing. We can do that. We've already done it with breath. And now we're learning, how can we use the sound of this, our own voice, to create some of that? Unfortunately, and as this is I know this is a lot in American culture. I'm not sure about other places in the world, but there's a weirdness around using the voice in our culture, unless you're really amazing at it, and then everybody wants to hear you sing. But if you're one of those folks that hasn't done a whole lot of it, it wouldn't be surprising if it's not quote unquote in tune. It wouldn't be surprising if it didn't sound quote unquote not great, right? If I tried to speak Mandarin Chinese right now, I couldn't. I've never done it before. And even if I studied it for like a minute and a half, like we've been doing some of these things, it wouldn't sound very good because I've never done it before. I haven't built the capacity. So there's an idea that's happened, especially for folks in the older generations. They heard some of these ideas that are really unhelpful. One of them is that you should be seen and not heard. I really, really don't like that one. You can banish that from your psyche. That is BS, right? Not true. We want to hear you. Second thing we want to eject out of our consciousness is the idea that if you don't have a great singing voice, that you shouldn't. No, flat out hard no. Actually, your voice, it's your birthright. You were born with it, and it's supposed to be used. And what I'm showing you is how to use it in a way that we don't often do. We're holding out sounds to stimulate a nerve, right? It's literally right here. And if you want to just try this, just touch your fingers to the side of your neck, breathe in, and then exhale. You feel that vibration? You're vibrating that little nerve that we looked at on the diagram a little bit ago. It's moving like this, like our guitar string buddy. And when that happens, remember all the feel-good chemicals that we looked at? All those start to come online. The nerve literally signals to the body, oh, we need to do this. So for folks who are singers, and when you feel good after singing, or if you go to church and you sing in the congregation or the choir and you feel good after it, there's a reason for that. It's a social bonding exercise there, but also we get all of these great chemicals that naturally start to show up when we use the voice in this particular way, holding out sounds for elongated amounts of time. If you've ever taken a yoga class and you've done the Om after yoga class, this is similar. If you have ever, I teach at a Catholic university, so they chant the rosary out loud over and over and over again. That gives you an excellent feeling. For some folks, it's their spirituality, but it's also mixed with the physiological changes that happen when we elongate sounds. So what I'm showing you is how to fine tune them so that you can put them in parts of the body that might feel tight. And let's talk about that for a second. Anytime I overuse a part of me, the tendency of that part is to do this. It gets tight, right? So last night, I play guitar, but I also play drums. And when I was drumming, I had to force myself to relax because I get so excited. But this morning, I'm feeling a little sore right here. This muscle right here gets sore. And when it gets sore, you just saw me do it. Naturally, I grab that muscle and I move it. Why do I move it? Because it helps to open the constriction. So when we overthink, you ever do that? When we overdo anything, the body's natural default mode is like, oh, I got to protect myself. I need to let the dude know he's doing too much. We got to tighten down so he relaxes a bit. Have you ever felt this tightness, right? So what we're doing is we're using vibration, movement to open the body. Open, meaning that it's not going to be so tight. We're not opening ourselves up to attacks. It's not that. It's opening the body so that we can feel the full flow of energy through the body. Because when we're tight, when we're holding on, right? Or we're feeling those headaches where the head feels like it's imploding on itself, right? This is just constriction that needs to move. Sound is very, very efficient at helping to move that constricted energy from the inside, right? Doing stretches is great for doing it in the outside. Massaging is great to do from the outside, but inside, those places that we can't reach with the hands, like the brain, like the organs in the body, we can still relax this part of the system using vibration. And that's really the essence of this. By the way, we will do Q&A at the end. So if you have questions, I will definitely answer all of them, or I'll do the best I can with them. What we're doing is we're essentially, if you have Sound Solution, the product, we're essentially going through each of the 7. I'm skipping around a little bit, but we've essentially done 1 in 3. If you're following along, if you know the product. If you don't, it's guided audio. I take you through these exercises so you can repeat them every day, because that's really the really big benefit happens in just like going to an exercise class. If we do it regularly, we see really big benefit. If we do it once, we feel good for a little bit, and then that's it. So very similar that way. What I'd like to, I'm going to backtrack in the product sequence to Sound Solution number 2, which is all about leveraging rhythm to help, once again, bring your brain, especially if you have the racing thoughts. This is really, for those of us who have trouble with that at bedtime, this is something that I think you'll love if you haven't seen it yet. So rhythm. Let me just grab a drum here real quick. I want you to notice what happens in your body. Like, notice your tendency when I play a little bit of rhythm. So see what the body naturally wants to do, if anything. So if you're starting to just move a little bit, this is the body's natural reaction to rhythm. The concept at work is when we hear something, especially a repeating pattern, the brain loves to follow the pattern. So if you've ever been out dancing and you move to the beat, or if you're a steering wheel drummer like me, right? Or you tap your foot, this is essentially your brain noticing a repeating pattern and going, oh, I like this. and connecting with it. And that connecting has a name. It's called entrainment, right? It's where we lock into a pattern and we start to follow it and let it kind of inhabit us in a way. When I drum, I'm often moving like this. I'm entraining myself with my own pattern. And that's what I'm going to teach you how to do, because one of the cool side effects of this particular kind of rhythmic entrainment is that it can help stop racing thoughts. And it can also help to turn on that deep parasympathetic relaxation response. I'm going to show you how to do it. So essentially, what you'll need is just your lap. It's really easy. You could also do this if you're in bed. You could also just do the tapping we're going to do on your chest or on the bed. Doesn't matter what position you're in. We're going to tap lightly, so it doesn't have to be loud. If you're in a place where you can't make sound, you can even do it with fingertips so it's silent. But we're going to move the hands. In music speak, we're roughly playing 16th notes at about 60 beats per minute. So 60 beats per minute, by the way, this is resting heart rate, if you're not aware. Thereabouts. So all we do is we tap right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, over and over and over. So you relax the shoulders. If you're holding your breath, don't do that. Let's keep breathing. And we're just gonna do this tapping for about 90 seconds or so. So your job when we do this, the first job is just to concentrate on the tapping. But then we'll add a little bit of slow breathing to this just to help it to happen faster, right? For no other good reason. It just makes the relaxation kick in. At the end of the exercise, you're gonna notice I'm gonna slow down the pattern. And when you hear me slow down, I'll lead you through it. Just slow down with me best you can. And at the end, we'll take some time in quiet so you can notice what, if anything, is different. All right, so we're gonna go about 90 seconds. Ready? And begin. Focus on the tapping. If your mind wanders, it's okay. Just bring it back and follow the tapping. Feel your hand meet the leg. Relax those shoulders. And let's add some very slow breathing. So in through the nose. 2, it's very slow. 3, take your time. 4, and slowly exhale. Nice and slow. 2, 3, take your whole time. 4, breath in slowly through the nose. 3, 4, and out. 2, 3, 4. Excellent. In nice and slow. And out nice and slow. 2, 3, 4. Fantastic. Breath in. And breath out. Beautiful. In. Slowly let it go. And we'll do one more breath like that. Take a breath in. 2, 3, 4, and out. 2, 3, 4. Now keep keep tapping and breathe at your own pace. We're going to start doing a slow down, and just do your best. Now let's slow down the tapping. You're doing great. And slow it down again. And slow down the tapping. And slow it down again. 4, 3, 2, 1, and just relax. Take some time in quiet. Just notice your mind. Notice the body. For those who are here live, if you want to put into the chat what you notice, whatever's true for you is completely fine. If you feel different now, what feels different? It's a good question to ask yourself anytime you're doing exercises like this. What's different now? You see, some people are feeling more grounded. Excellent. Stress in the upper back is much less. Excellent. Good. And sometimes after doing an exercise like this, it's completely hard to think about anything because we've helped hijack the brain's attention away from whatever the thoughts were and into the present moment. Rhythm gives the brain, it's almost like giving a small child a toy to go play with when it needs to be distracted. We're distracting the brain away from racing thoughts and into now. Okay. So this is something that is very helpful before bedtime. If you have, if you have trouble with the brain not being quiet, you can hang out and do this on your chest silently. And the rule of thumb, people ask, well, how long do you need to do it? What I say is do it as long as it takes. Sometimes it takes maybe a minute or two. If you're brand new to it and you're a heavy thinker, sometimes you might need 5 minutes. On really tough nights, like sometimes just life is happening and it's rough. Sometimes I might need just 10 minutes and I'm breathing and I'm doing this, and then finally the dam breaks and everything relaxes. So it can change day to day. And if we're listening to the body, it will let us know what is needed. This is a great question Larry's asking now. Would it make sense if you wake up at night to just get up and do the exercise and go back to bed? I do this, and I would say you don't have to get up unless you need to. I'm a side sleeper, so I'll do this just like near my pillow, like this, if I've woken up out of a sleep phase and can't fall asleep. By the way, we all wake up through the night, right? Just sometimes you won't remember it. And what's happening if you aren't aware is that you're coming out of a phase of sleep. Sometimes we go, oh man, I'm awake. Doggone it, I don't want to be awake. And then we overstress ourselves because of it. So yes, you can get up if you want, but you don't have to. If you want to just see if you can lull yourself back to sleep, breathe and get the tapping going. However it's comfortable, doesn't matter where. Just move the hands back and forth like a ticking stopwatch. That's the sound to remember. That's the tempo. And then when you start to feel the least bit tired, then slow down the tapping. That's the important thing, because what's happening, the speed of your brain waves when we're stressed goes up, right? The speed gets faster. If we're in a really super anxious state, the brainwave, if we looked at an EEG reading, we would see that the waveforms are super fast. So what we're doing is essentially we're helping the brain focus on the pattern, and the brain will start to entrain with the pattern and then gradually slow it down, right? It's a little brain hack that it's pretty reliable. The problem people run into is patience. They start it and within 30 seconds it doesn't work, and they're like, this doesn't work. But if you give it time, and you're patient and do it the way I showed you, breathe slowly, tap at about this ticking stopwatch sound, and after a minute or two, then slow down slowly, it tends to work a whole lot better. Crystal's got a great comment here. The exercises feel like a very gentle, loving tethering when energy levels feel like a hot air balloon rising and trying to float away to keep grounded. Yes, when we are focused on the body, right, we're here now in the present moment. Grounding, the movement of the body, the focusing in on it can really help keep us grounded like that. Rhythm especially is a wonderful grounding tool. Great comment. Let's dig in here to some fun stuff. There is a sequence of sounds that I'm going to show you that will resonate each of the major parts of the body. So you might have heard the term chakra back in your back in the day. I like to just think of what we're going to be working on are places in the body that have serious concentrations of nerves and vital functions. So the top of your head, the forehead, the throat, the heart, the solar plexus, the abdomen, and then of course reproductive. Each of these has there's different sounds there's different systems of different sounds is what I'm trying to say. These are not the only ones, but these ones, of all the ones I've tried, and I'm just one person, these tend to feel the most efficient to me in how they create vibration or openness in the body. For those who are here live, I'm putting them in the chat. It's the vowel E, so eem. We put M's at the end of all of these, so eem. We have the vowel A, so aim. So eem, aim. And then for the throat, I'm. So eem, aim, I'm. For the chest, A-H-M, So eem, aim, I'm. Here in the solar plexus, om. Om. In the belly, oom. And then for reproductive, I hold my waist and it's What's this one? Eem. Aim. I'm. Om. Oom. Yeah, good. If you're watching live, just rewatch this and write those down. Eem, aim, I'm, om, um, um. When we get to the torso, which we'll do, you'll notice I'm going to tilt my chin down when I make those sounds, and that helps the sound move more efficiently into the more mass of the body. The head we feel pretty easily. The lower the sound has to go in the body, the harder it is to feel the vibration. But there's still things happening even if you don't feel the buzzy feeling. Also, when we do this, we're going to keep the spine straight. That also helps to conduct the vibration down into the body. It's interesting because the bones, they actually will conduct vibration. If I put my hand on a drum and I hit the drum, I'll actually feel the vibration, into my arm. So, fun fact. Are you ready? So we're going to start. We've been doing for the top of the head, so we were going to be doing the sound on every one of our sounds here is at the end of every one. But E really concentrates some energy. So I want you to pay attention as we go through the sequence to the feeling of the vibration. Pay attention to the feeling. All right. Spine is straight. Let's go. We're going to start with the eem. It's a big breath in. And I forgot, but I like to hold my head when I do this one, so feel free to do it. It's totally optional. It's up to you. Spine is straight. Big breath into the belly. And then a couple more, breath in. Relax your arm if you need to. Two more. And then last one, breath in. Very nice. So just take a moment, just relax. Notice the sensations in your head if you feel any. Next, we're going to move to the forehead. Now for this one, there's a really comforting hand position. If you put your palm kind of on the base of your skull and then just gently hold the forehead, it's actually a really soothing position. Take breaks when you need to on this one if you need to like shake your arms out. All right, we're going to do the sound aim, spine straight. Focus on your forehead. Here we go. Breath in. And again. Rest your arms when you need to. Breath in, spine straight. Just relax those arms. When we do this, remember, you don't have to match my pitch. You don't have to match the length of time that I exhale my sounds. Just do what your body allows you to do comfortably, right? That's always the rule here. So we had aim. Now we're gonna get to the throat. Now at the throat, some people like to put palms here. If that's comfortable, fine. For some people, that's not fine. So you can just gently touch with fingertips or don't do it at all, right? Just whatever's comfortable for you. So spine straight, the vowel, it's I. Focus on the vibration that you feel. Remember, you're using a pitch in your voice, the highness and lowness, that's comfortable. It doesn't have to match me. Here we go. Spine straight, breath in. Again. Focus on the feeling of the vibration. Breath in. One more like that. Here we go. Good. Rest your hands. Just breathe for a moment. And I wonder if you can feel a difference between your head and throat and the rest of your torso. I wonder if between the neck and head feels different than the lower half of the torso. It may or may not. We'll see. Now we're going to get into one of my favorite spots, which is the heart. For this one, I like to just hold my heart like this. Again, just do it if it's comfortable. Spine straight, the sound is All right, ready? Here we go. Breath in. Good. Again. Excellent. Again. One more. Good. So I'm going to back up just a bit so you can see. I'm going to go down to my solar plexus. So this is the spot right at the bottom of the rib cage, right here. I like to put my palm right over it. Sound here is the vowel O. Remember, when we get into the chest and the torso here, we're going to start to tilt the chin down. I meant to do that on the last sound and I forgot. So this time, when we make the sound, you can just gently put the chin down. And then also just watch me for a second. When I make the sound, I'm going to just gently move side to side so that the vibration, almost kind of like like a lighthouse out in the ocean. Like I'm just gonna try to move the vibration side to side and see what you notice when you do this. All right. So spine is straight, chin down, breath in. Breathing in. Good. And one more time. And just gently bring your head up to the normal position. Relax. I feel so fortunate that I get to do this with you. It's one of the best parts of my job. We're still in the torso. We have 2 more sounds to go. We're going to get down to the belly button. So hold the belly. You know, for some of us, we're kind of hard on the belly. So maybe give it a little extra love while you're here. Spine is straight. Remember, chin is down. You don't have to force it the whole way down. Just down gently. We're going to do our lighthouse again. Sound is Focus on the vibration. And as you get lower here, if you have a little more volume that you can add without straining, this is the time to do it for and then later. Try to get as much volume as you can without hurting your voice. Okay? So, spine straight, chin down, breath in. Good. Again. Again. One more time. Beautiful. Just relax. We've got one more sound to do in the sequence. And for this one, I just hold my waist like this. It's optional. Again, my spine is straight. And again, I'm doing the chin down. And again, I do that lighthouse idea where I'm sort of spreading the sound all over the torso. The sound is Use your voice. Let me hear you. Big breath in. Chin down, spine straight. There you go. Breath in. again. One more time. Beautiful. For now, I'd like you to make yourself even more comfortable, whatever that is for you. And we're going to take a few moments, and I'd like to offer you a sound bath. Sound bath is just bathing in some vibration. Bring my microphone down so that you can hear my hand pan here. Just breathe. Let your shoulders relax. Let your jaw unclench. take your time. Breathe at your own pace. Just relax. You've done quite a bit of good work here with me in the last hour, almost hour and a half together. We have been diving in to practices that really can improve your well-being. They can help you with some of the things that a lot of us struggle with: sleep, anxiety, stress, mood. Again, these are not cure-alls. You shouldn't stop taking your medicine if you're taking medicine. If you have health trouble, you should probably go see a doctor, right? This is not a substitute. This is an adjunct. This is something that we can add to the routines. Even if you just add one of the exercises we did here, it can make a huge difference in how you feel each day. Okay, so this is what we do. And again, if you find that there's something here that really is helping you, don't hesitate to teach it to somebody. There are like 8 billion people on the planet, a lot of stress. You never know how you can impact somebody by just sitting with them and doing an exercise with them. So don't hesitate there. So I want to jump in to Q&A, and I'm going to make my screen different so I can see you all. If you have questions, you can feel free to put them into the chat. I can see that there's some things in here already. Any questions about any of the things that we've done here, or things that you're wondering about, feel free to ask. I'll do my best to answer. If I don't know, I can usually find someone who does. So that's an option too. I have here's a really good question. My friend here is, she's been in some grief and found that playing her violin helps her feel better. That makes good sense. She's wondering, is it stimulating the vagus nerve? So I'm not a violinist, but I know that I think you hold that violin underneath your chin, right? Right about here. Is that right? So if that's the case, the vibration, here's my big violin. The vibration of the body of the instrument when you pull the bow across the strings, right? The body of the instrument is resonating just like the guitar body does, and that's gonna literally hit the left side of your the left vagus nerve on your body, or if it's on the other side, I can't remember which way you hold them. But yes is the short answer. You're giving all kinds of stimulation to that nerve. In fact, this quick tangent, but it's related. There are companies now that are selling devices that emit a vibration that you hold on your neck. Vagus nerve stimulators. These are devices that are hundreds and hundreds of dollars. You can actually get a prescription for one for cluster migraine headaches. Believe it or not, there's a device called a Gamma Core. These guys, by the way, they do good work, but it costs $600 a month. So they give you just enough charge for a month, and then it shuts off. So you have to go get a new cartridge, and you plug it in for $600, and on and on. So the product is, from what I see, the research is really good, but it's doing kind of what we're doing here, interestingly. So something, just something to keep in mind. You're going to see all kinds of devices if you haven't already. There's, I've seen some on Facebook and Instagram of these products that stimulate the vagus nerve. It's not that they're bad. Do you need to spend the money to get what's already built in? Maybe not. You'd have to decide that. So, good question. I'm the king of the long answer, as my friends will tell you. That's sort of how it rolls. Other questions? Let's see here. And I'm really just kidding myself. I need my glasses here. Jeff, your legs are left out, Jack. Yeah, go for that walk. Although you're like up in the Great White North, aren't you? Is it super cold up there today? Yeah. Oh yeah. You got a nice shirt on there, I see. Very nice. He's got our band shirt on. Thanks for that, Jeff. Yeah, not sunny in Rochester, just like Philadelphia. Zero sun. Excellent. Yeah, if anyone else has a thought or question, feel free to put it in the chat. Some of you who've been with me for a while, you might have gotten messages from my partner, business partner. His name's Dan. I'll put his name in the chat. I have a team now that's working on all of these products with me. He's a real key person. Whenever you see emails from me, he's often creating some of that stuff and sending them on out to you. One of the things, I was just on the phone with him right before the session, and he was telling me he was looking at some of your accounts, so some people that have been with me for a while, and he said to tell you that he's noticing that there's a bunch of you that are spending a lot of money on events, which thank you, I really appreciate the support. But we have a way that if you think you're going to keep doing this, I think at least 12 new programs coming in 2023, live programs like this. If you think that you're going to keep doing this, we have a deal that we're running now till the beginning of the new year. It's that you can, I think you save 55% on a full year of events, and then you can pay that in 3 installments. He's going to send you, so I'm going to send you the link to that if you're interested. If you think you're going to do events through the year and you want to save half of that money, you can do that. He told me to tell you that. He'll have that link. And I'll also, when I get off the Zoom here, I'm going to render the video, and then I'm going to create the video so that you can have this one, so that you can keep going back and watching that over and over again. Again, I can't stress enough how, just like going for a walk regularly or eating well regularly, doing even just one of these exercises for 3 minutes, 4 minutes a day can make a huge difference in how your nervous system functions. One of the things that we strengthen, we didn't get to talk about in this particular program, but I'll just give it to you quickly. There's a way that you can measure the strength of the vagus nerve. It's called vagal tone, and it's a way, kind of like when you tone a muscle, we can bring resilience to the nervous system just by activating this nerve on a regular basis. So humming, singing, deep breathing, where you're exhaling really loudly, like a loud sigh, will stimulate the nerve. Doing these practices regularly, and what it means is, when we have stronger vagal tone, it means that the nervous system reverts back to homeostasis quicker. It gets you back to your center faster. If you've ever noticed when you're sick, like every last little thing gets on your nerves and you don't have a lot of capacity to deal with anything, right? That's because your vagal tone tends to be a lot lower when we're not well. So this is even the sequence that we just did. If you did that a couple times per week, you would find that when you're stressed, you get out of stress more quickly. Yep, and drink. Yeah, please drink water. Stay hydrated, especially in the wintertime, man. It's you see me. I'm drinking water the whole time. I'm so dry here in the northeast of the United States. It's cold and dry. All right, friends. Well, hey, thank you for spending some time with me here. I really appreciate it. This is it's my last session of the year. I'm going to have a little bit of a break, and then I'll be all charged up. The very next thing that's coming, just so you know, I have this thing I've been doing since 2010. It's called the Winter Renewal. I'm going to be doing that on Zoom this year. So that I can, I have people now from all over the world that are coming to see these things. They watch the recordings, they come in live. The Winter Renewal is it's a really fun program. It's really different than anything that I've done so far virtually. And basically, we use some of the practices that we work with here, but we aim everything at how can we make an actionable, doable plan so that we can start to deliberately build health and well-being through the entire year. And so I have these processes that we do that can help you organize that so that you'll actually do it. We talk about self-sabotage. We talk about behavioral patterns, how we can build those. It is some of my favorite stuff to teach that I haven't really taught in this format ever. So I'm excited about that. It's a 3-hour program on a Saturday. Let me just grab the date here so I speak intelligently about the date. So the date for the Winter Renewal is Saturday, January 7th. So it's going to be in Eastern time in the United States. It'll be at 10 a.m. Eastern time, and then it's 3 hours right in a row. We'll take a little break in the middle so you can get up and stretch, all that. But I highly recommend that one. And if you're going to get the yearly package, that's included in there. All of my all the new live programs will be included in that too. And let's see. Yes, I miss the in-person too. I'll be doing some more in-persons this year. This is I think of this as an add-on. I used to do only live events because we didn't have Zoom, but it's nice to be able to reach more people now. All right. Well, hey, have a great weekend, everybody. If you're watching here live, and if you're watching on the recording, thank you for tuning into this. I hope that it's helpful. I would love to hear about your experiences with this. Don't hesitate. And if you're not on my Facebook, we've been having some really good conversations over there. Come on over and join that. We've got lots of good stuff going on there too. It's Jim Donovan Sound Health. And lastly, I hope you have a blessed holiday. I hope that you keep yourself healthy, and most importantly, take impeccable care of yourself. All right, we need you here on the planet. Much love. See you all soon. Okay, take care.